I've been using Hubdoc on a daily basis for the last 3 years, so I really understand how it works. In today's video, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to get the best out of Hubdoc. Let's head into Hubdoc and take a look. I see Hubdoc as a big filing cabinet. So in a filing cabinet, you want to find information. So let's take a look. First of all, how do you find documents? Well, you've got this big spyglass so you can search. So if we wanted to search for a supplier, we can simply type it in. It helps if you can spell. And there you can see what we've got for this supplier. You can't always trust it. Maybe you've spelt things a little bit differently, but that is a search option. You've also got a drop down. So let's remove that, go to the drop down, and this time you can actually search for an amount. Now, I can't remember the amounts we entered, but let's guess that we entered something that was £250. Let's search, and there we have it. Brilliant. So that is the search in Xero. You can also go to show folders here, and if you go to uploads, here you have a different folder for each supplier. So they're in alphabetical order. If you are interested in jazzy stuff, you can head to this folder here. And there you find the one document for jazzy. So that is how to find things. You can also go back. You've got to remember to remove what you're doing. We're on all. You can also sort. So if you're looking for something, for example, it's really old, you can sort by a bill date. And then the oldest one is there. You can also click in this and you get the newest. So if you're looking at for something that's really old, we'll choose bill date. We'll go here, and here's the oldest one that we have, 2020. So that is searching in Hubdoc. Okay, let me show you some clever things you can do with your suppliers in Hubdoc. If we head to the cog, click on it, and then we've got suppliers on the left, and they're in alphabetical order. If you end up with a supplier in twice, which is not unusual, you can select them and you have the option to merge. So it says, which supplier do you want to keep? This one has no documents, and you can see it's missing the S on the end. This is the one we want to keep, and we say merge suppliers. The other thing you can do with a supplier, if you select it, if there's a typo, you can change it, but you can also set a default due date. You'll notice that I didn't put due dates for a lot of mine. If I change that to say the default is 7 days, but then if there's something different on the document, we can say use that. And then we can also say, so we're talking about, just a reminder, Handsome Homes here. Ignore autosync. When we are sending the document to Xero, what do we want to do? We want it to go through as a purchase. We think that's what the VAT rate will be. We want it to be a weighting payment, cost of goods sold, contact name. We might not want a description, but we can always change that and save changes. So next time you get a document for Handsome Homes, it'll go to the right place because there's only one, and it will fill in some of that information. So that's a little bit about managing suppliers in Hubdoc. Okay, another Hubdoc tip for you. Let's look at tags. You can tag your documents in Hubdoc. So if, for example, maybe there's more than one person dealing with Hubdoc and you want to communicate with each other. Maybe your bookkeeper is looking at Hubdoc and wants to communicate with the client. So what you can do is you can add a tag. So especially if a document hasn't been dealt with, you might see a tag says that you've queried this document. I just clicked an enter there and it added the tag for me. So also when you go to folders, look, you'll get a list of your tags. So another thing that you can do in Hubdoc and you can use tags for is you can actually save other documents in Hubdoc. Ideally, Hubdoc is designed for your purchase invoices, but maybe you have bank statements that you want to review. Maybe you have remittances that you want to refer to. So you can put other documents in here, and what you would do with them is just simply add a tag. So let's just pretend that this is a remittance. I hit enter and that adds the tag in. So then we've got an extra tag. So what that would mean, if I'm then interested in all my remittances, I can go to that tag. I can also search, so the search has put remittances in there, and I could say, look at the value, can you find me all the remittances and the amount equals, and if we put in £24 in search, there we get the document that's got the remittance tag and it's for that value. So that's another thing you can do in Hubdoc, make good use of these tags. You just need to think about what would be helpful for you. Okay, before you're Hubdoc'd out, I'm going to show you one final tip, and this relates to suppliers in Hubdoc as well. So I've got this invoice, and it's only part of an invoice because I didn't have something to refer to. But what this invoice is, it's from Google and it's for Google Workspace. It's going to sit and processed. It might move into failed. I don't think Hubdoc will be able to deal with it because look, it's only half an invoice. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to supplier, and when I head down to Google, what I've done is I've set up 2 different Google accounts. And this is me being lazy or clever, depending which way you look at it. I don't actually use Google Ads, so I'll choose Google Workspace. A lot of my clients use both. So we would fill in the invoice number, we'll fill in the date, right, 31st of July. There's not an amount, $6.73. Reverse charge, because that's what Google is. And then when we scroll down, I have filled all this in. So as soon as Google Workspace goes up here, down at the bottom, we get what we want. The contact is Google. You can have the same contact for both, and Google Workspace gets coded to the right place. So for example, if it wasn't Google Workspace and it was Google Ads instead, head down, and because we've changed the supplier, now we've got it going to the right place in Xero, but still with the same one supplier as Google. How clever is that?